Welcome to the bold analysis. The intention of William Ruto going head-on with Uhuru Kenyatta, actually going charm offensive, has sparked debate with many different political observers, trying to weigh whether it is a blunder or the potential of it affecting the UDA administration. In the altar of political expediency, I tend to feel that Ruto kinda is being misadvised. And the fallout between Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta is legendary, in the sense that we've had political fallouts, political divorce in the past, but a situation on which they switched positions, that the deputy president rose to the seat of presidency after Uhuru Kenyatta retired, means that someone got powers at the behest while the other person lost powers. Now, there is something that has been going on here, and it is about the fallout between Uhuru and Ruto. This fallout has actually seen spins and twists whenever everything else is done. When it is about taxes, it's always Uhuru family. And today, after Uhuru yesterday decided to hit directly by telling Ruto to face him, Ruto has also responded today, telling the former president that he's also going to protect the people. Why can Ruto face Uhuru directly? But in this podcast, I just want to explain the reasons why William Ruto is pushing for a separation between Uhuru and Raila. And any other move that is being made is geared towards the same. Why? It is all about the 2027 contest. And let me revisit something that I've always said in this podcast, that mid-elections have always been a problem for the incumbent. After 2002, when Mwai Kibaki made his way to the presidency, in 2007, the tide changed. The same to 2013, in 2017, it was not an easy ride for Uhuru Kenyatta. And I don't expect either that 2027 is going to be an easy ride for William Samoei Ruto. And that is why the only competition available that can be intensified, that can be mounted against Ruto, is to be done by the prefect of that, can only be former president Uhuru Kenyatta. But what exactly is the point of contestation? Today, there was a story about Uhuru Kenyatta's company, I think Brookside, banned from stocking with a military canteen. And probably it's a fallout of business interest. But why is Ruto committed to suppress or to manage 2027 contest by, number one, separating Uhuru and Raila? I think he's gone to public, he's in public saying that Uhuru should leave Raila. Uhuru should leave Raila, and that he's the one who's pushing Raila, this and that. And the whole discussion has been going on here. And no, that is why I want to explain it in these details. There is a concerted effort to kill Azimio political clout, political capital. The political capital of Azimio is one that it was made on, if you look at Azimio la Umoja as a coalition, it has been crumbling in the sense of infiltration from the other side, Jubilee side, now being plucked out, then a contingent of MPs on the ODM side. And so it was not that strong, even at its formation. And what the Ruto side are then, that's what they are actually using. The fact that it was a couple of many interests that brought them together, and all the other political parties that came to work under the Azimio. Killing political clout is very important and is a very key objective of President Ruto, because it is through it. I was just discussing that there's only one competition. As we stand, Raila Odinga still remains most popular candidate against Ruto. So anyone who is fronted by Raila, anyone getting the support of Raila Odinga in the next general election, is really going to give Ruto sweat. It be him Kalonzo, but so long as that candidate has the backing of Raila, it's not going to be a very easy ride for it's not going to be a very easy ride for it. Now, number two, the breaking Uhuru-Raila relationship chemistry would give Ruto an easier way to hatch a mini handshake with Raila Odinga. Because one thing I think the political circles are actually talking about is that there is a high likelihood that pushing a handshake with Raila, there is a high likelihood that Raila is not on ballot. And Ruto will strive to get Raila on his side, which would complicate the whole 2027 contest. But that can only be possible when Raila is not with Uhuru Kenyatta. So if you had Uhuru saying, I've not been talking to Ruto, you know, he's been making those statements about I've not been talking to Ruto. But clearly, there is something that you can point out there. Why do you think Ruto would want a handshake with Raila? Raila is the face of political aggression in the history of this country. Yes. There is no one who can mobilize citizens. The greatest mobilizer with the structures is Raila Odinga. Political aggression is him. Even campaign mobilization is Raila Odinga. And having known very well that the masses are swinging towards the opposition wing, the best you can do is, after realizing that, okay, the masses have turned against me and are now listening to Raila, then they will look for Raila for damage control. And that will be something that will be seen. The other third aspect is eroding, or rather neutralizing Uhuru's Mount Kenya fortunes, because the best way to neutralize Mount Kenya fortune, there are a couple of Uhuru's orphans. Allow me to call them Uhuru's orphans. These are fellows that cling on Uhuru Kenyatta. That is Jeremiah Kioni, Nderitu Muridhi. We have Jeremiah Kioni, Nderitu Muridhi, the current Mainenjenga, the former Muranga governor, Mwangi wa Iria, and quite a host of other leaders and other mobilizers. Now, those who are around Raila Odinga, apart from everyone around Raila Odinga, apart from Martha Karua, that are part of it, including even Peter Munya, are coalescing around Raila because of Uhuru Kenyatta. And the moment you break Uhuru-Raila chemistry, you will actually see mass exodus. Even Jubilee MPs who are still around Raila Odinga, and they came to parliament through Jubilee, they're still hanging around Raila simply because of Uhuru Kenyatta. And that is why, that is also one thing that Ruto's handlers might also be looking at now. The question here is this: what is the end game? That's what everyone else has been asking. What is the end game? How will it end for Ruto? How will it end for Uhuru? How will it end? What is the end game? Because as things go, the population is taking stock of it. I've seen people cheering some of atrocities that have been going on, and of course saying that everything happening now to Uhuru Kenyatta is right because Uhuru is a former president, and those are things that Uhuru did. And those who think, and there are those who have a school of thought that it's just a moment of payment, of repay, of paying, that what is going on now is nothing new because when Uhuru was in power, it also happened to so and so. But what is it, the end game? The end game here is the population is taking stock. And when the time to politic and campaign asking for votes will emerge, it's really going to dirtify, to smear dirt on those clinging on incumbency. MP, senator, governor, aspirant who would want to cling on incumbency might find it very difficult because of the dirt that already shall have been there, because the population is taking stock of what is exactly is going on. It's true that Uhuru fell out with Ruto, but the question of did it get to where it is? It's a question that people are asking. Thank you. I'm getting some very disturbing news here. Arrest of suspect for being in possession of suspected narcotic, drugs and psychotropic substances. Around 16:30 hours, officers from DCA County, while tracing for one Pauline Njoroge, intercepted motor vehicle that in car along Watamu Jacaranda Road, and upon searching the vehicle, 4 rolls of dry plant material suspected to be narcotic drugs covered. The occupants, what? Oh, okay. All suspects were booked and placed in custody to be charged with offense of being in possession of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. Now the arrest, Pauline Njoroge was arrested. I was just looking at this. This message just came in when I was shooting. Pauline Njoroge was arrested, and now there is a claim of some drug, caught with some drugs. I don't know. Fine. Thank you, guys. Let's meet in the next.